Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another airbrush review. If you was around yesterday, you seen the Segola disaster of a review yesterday, and this was out the box and it was just an absolute nightmare. I'll pop a clip up now. So this is what I was going through yesterday with a brush that was brand new out the box, and did an honest review for you guys. It was an absolute headache painting with it. So today's review, we are picking up a quality brush by people that make quality brushes, and it's a H&S we're looking at today, guys, and it's an Infinity. Not the new Infinity, this is the old Infinity. Now I'm going to pop you a picture up in the screen now. This image is fully airbrushed, guys, by the artist known as, I'll pop the name up in the screen now. This is the artist that has done this piece of artwork. Now I clocked this piece of artwork when I went over to H&S. This image is framed and it is upstairs at H&S, and it instantly caught my eye because I looked at the brush and thought, oh, I've not seen an Infinity like that before. Well, we've got one today to do a review on, guys, and here it is. How nice does that look with the side feed coming out the bottom like that? Now this is on a 015, and this has got the artist's name laser etched down the side of it, so it's a sort of a special edition. Comes in on a 015. All your other Infinity features, if you've got an original Infinity, are the same from here backwards. It's the front that's completely different with your bottom feed here. This little side cup. Got your prong cap the same trigger, everything else works exactly the same. So I wanted to do a little test on this just to see how it performs having the cup coming out the bottom, because I've never tried a H&S brush like on a bottom sort of feed. So we're moving closer, we're going to use some FW inks, and I'm just going to have a little play around with it, see what it's like on detail, see what it's like for shading and things like that. So let's move in and try this Infinity. So there you go, guys. There's a quality brush, not like yesterday's disaster. I mean, that looks really nice. First time I've seen one of these where you've got your little cup that comes out the side, like that. So if you've got your Infinity, everything else is the same. The cutaway here, you've got a dial there you can turn, and that will set the tension on your trigger. You've got your quick fix. So like the other brushes where you dial this in, and you set your distance here, this one, you dial it and then you click it in like that. It sets your trigger movement, so you can see minimal. Then when you pop that out, you get full trigger again. And then if you want to go back to that setting, you just click it in and you've got that setting again. And you've got little markers on there to dial that in. So if you want minimal trigger, you work in minimal trigger like that. And you want to go back to full trigger, you just click it out and you've got your full trigger. It's a really cool design. And that's always been kept with the Infinity across the board. Even on the new 2024 one, it's got the same piece here. Just a very slightly different cutaway on the new Infinity, and a slightly, I'd say, a nicer anodized sort of look on the back. This looks almost like a satin, like a silky type look in the red. The newer one's got more like a bright anodized type look. But that's the brush. You get your prong cap that you can remove to the front. You can work with the prong cap off or on. That just pushes on. Comfortable trigger. Really nice movement in that. So I've got some Liquitex. We're going to go Liquitex black. Drop some in the brush. Put a few drops in. Take the prong cap off. Now I'm running 20 psi on this, so we're just going to get a feel. I mean, look at that. That is like, that's ridiculous, guys. Right, we'll move on to this piece of paper. Now, this is what the 015 can do. This gets ridiculously down, guys. It's like hairline straight off the bat. Instantly. Tiny. You can probably not see that. I'll put a bit of more body down. This is thin. But just the feel of this brush, compared from yesterday with that Segola, this shades They just shade incredible, the Infinities do. They lay the paint down really soft. Tiny, just spidering a bit. I can bring that pressure down. Just going to bring that pressure down on the main line. Just knock that down a bit. I've not got my glasses on, so I can't. But you can hardly hear that. Hear how low that is? Look at that. You know, the Segola yesterday couldn't even run this low. Look how nice that lays down paint. It is incredible. And people are saying about, you know, you feel a lag. There's no lag in this brush. None on this trigger. A lot of the time where you'll feel lag with the Infinity, the old one, it's your paint mixes. This is really thin and it absolutely loves it. And I'm just touching that trigger. And we've got paint at very low pressure. You hear that? That is really, really low. And it's atomising. I think we're running around 6 psi on there. On that. 6 psi, and that is just, look how sharp that's getting down. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Take that to about 10. Lovely brush. And you've got full view, absolute full view. This doesn't get in the way at all. Your hands fit nicely around it. And you've got absolute full view. I'm really liking this. Really am. You can see everything you want to see. Yeah, phenomenal brush. I mean, I've got the 015 in my old Infinity. Really nice. Gets super down. It's the shading I like with these. When you want to do a piece of artwork and get some real soft shading, I think there's only 2 brushes that I would pick up to do it, and it'd be the Custom Micron Takumi, lays and atomises paint, and these. I'd say the Infinity 2024 and the old one, they just lay it really, they atomise so well. There's not many brushes that will atomise like this. There isn't on the market, guys. You're either looking at a Micron or an Infinity to get that really soft atomisation. They are the best 2 brushes that do it. It's just unreal. Yeah, can work with this. It's just, they're just point and shoot. Point, you just get it where you want it. Really could do with my glasses on and I could see what I'm doing. I'm going to put my glasses on and I'll see what I'm doing. Oh, that's better. Now I can see what the needle is doing and where I am. Write your name 3mm letters. Probably get it down to about 2. Yeah. Yeah, it's on point, this brush is. Probably come down with the pressure on that, it's a little bit slightly blowing out. This paint is thin, and this is Liquitex. A couple of drops of Liquitex and just down with a bit of water, but look how soft it lays the lines down. It's unbelievable, guys, it really is. And this is the old one. So if you're wondering what the new one's like, you know, the new one will do this, but the new one's like you've got a laser and it goes, the way it lays the paint down, the new one with the titanium nozzle, is sharper than this. I mean, this is good enough for anyone for detail. It really is. This will get you ridiculous detail down. And the new one is even better. You know? I always used my Infinity was my go-to detail brush years ago. It really was. All the time, I was using it all the time. And then I moved on to the Micron and used the Micron for years. And then came back round full circle to H&S. And then when I picked up the new Infinity 2024, it was like an absolute eye-opener. It was incredible. And I tested that brush to its fullest potentials. I really have. I've gone to like the credit card portraits with it and then done big pieces with it as well. But this is lovely. It's the cleanness here. You've got no cup. So you can just go right up and you can see exactly what you're doing. Three mil dagger strokes off the bat, straight away. I mean, look how clean that lays down paint. That's how you want an airbrush to be. That's what you want. Right, there you go. Tell me your thoughts, drop some comments, you know. I think it is incredible. I mean, I've got an original Infinity, you know, which is basically the same as that. But that just feels like a completely different brush. And the reason why it feels like a completely different brush, you've got full visibility. It's so nice to work with. My original Infinity is really nice to work with, but you've got the cup. So when you're looking down it, you do see the cup. You've got that in view. Even though you're sort of on detail, you're looking here, that is still in view. It's still in your eyesight. This is like clean and it's like whoa. And you're looking and you can just see everything. And it's just pinpoint accuracy with that brush. It really is. That was getting hairlines with ease, guys. You just touch the trigger and you're just hitting it. You just hit it straight away off the bat. There's none of this, oh, where's the paint? Is the paint there? It was just touch that trigger. So when people say there's the lag in the original Infinity, I felt the lag. But now I've moved on and got a little bit more experiences with different paints and using inks and thinner consistencies. I don't feel any lag whatsoever in that brush. None. I really don't. It was absolutely on point, guys. Just touching that trigger and that was releasing. And I think a lot of it's to do with your paint consistencies. It really is. Because the thicker the paint, when you've got a thinner needle and nozzle, you've got to pull that trigger back and you've got to move that needle back into that nozzle to give it room to get that paint out. So you've got your thick paints in your acrylics, and you're going back, and you're thinking, oh, where's the paint, where's the paint? It's like you're moving back, and that's where you're thinking that you're getting the lag, where there's this movement before you're getting paint. I guarantee it's your paint. Paint consistencies, me starting out on golden, mixing it 1-to-1 with the Infinity, I was so used to it. I knew exactly where the paint release was because I was used to that paint and consistently using that paint. So the Infinity for me, the original, no dramas. I was always using it for detail work because I knew the paint and I stuck to that paint brand. And then you pick up like your cheaper paints and all this, and people will experience this with the cheap crap paints. Paint schemes have moved on dramatically from years back. They really have. The formulas have changed, the consistencies are better, the pigments are better now. So like you've got your Createx illustration where you can put it straight in the brush and it will spray. Not many paints could do that back years back. You'd be struggling to thin it down. The newer paints that you're getting for airbrushes are a lot better, and the inks are brilliant. And that's why I sort of moved over to the inks and sort of moved over to the Createx illustration and the Wicked, because the reducers you get, they break it down really nice. And I'm having no issues with spraying, apart from yesterday with this piece of junk that we tried on a 03. It wouldn't even get that. You wouldn't hit that, as I tried with that Segola yesterday, it wouldn't hit that. We're on the same paper as yesterday, and I'm using ink, and I was using ink yesterday in the Segola, and it was struggling. It wouldn't even drop down on pressure. I clipped that Infinity in, and I just knew the minute I went to here, and it went straight down to hairline by just touching that trigger, I thought, yeah, we've got no dramas with this brush. I know exactly what it can do off the bat on the test piece here. Went straight in, and you're just painting. So that's why I always say H&S brushes, guys, they know what they're doing when it comes to building a brush. They really do. Absolute quality. Lovely brush. Love it. So I'll leave a link in the description to that one, because I think you can still get these. And if you want to go and pick one up, highly recommend it, because it is phenomenal. It really is. If you're thinking of the new 2024 Infinity and you've got the old one, nothing wrong with that. I've got the original, there's nothing wrong with it. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. If you're wondering what the 2024 is like, I mean, these are responsive, and the new one is even more responsive. And the way the titanium setup, how it lays the paint down and how it atomizes the paint is just mind-blowing, guys. It really is. The things you can do with the new Infinity, like when you're going, I've done the micro portraits with it, it's razor. It's like you've got a laser pointer and you're going bing out the front when it comes to the paint delivery. It's just clean, sharp, and lays it down. So you've just seen that do what that can do. The new one will do that even easier. So that's how good they are, guys. So drop your comments, tell me your thoughts, and I will see you lot in the next one. Cheers.